No one cares where you started, they only see where you are. We've all heard the saying, no one cares where you started, they only see where you are. At first glance, it might sound harsh or even unfair. After all, everyone has a story, moments of struggle, failure, and sacrifice that shape who they are. But the reality is that, in the eyes of the world, your past matters far less than your present. In this video, we're going to dive deep into this powerful truth. We'll explore why your beginnings don't define your future, how society judges based on results, and most importantly, how you can rise above your starting point to become the person you want to be. To bring this to life, we'll follow the journey of Jake, a young man who transformed his life from humble beginnings to success through resilience and determination. If you've ever felt stuck, judged, or discouraged because of where you came from, this message is for you. Let's get started. The reality of how society judges us. Imagine two people. One grew up in a wealthy family, attended the best schools, and now runs a successful company. The other started with nothing, faced countless obstacles, and is still struggling to find their path. When the world looks at these two individuals, what does it see? It usually sees the surface, the successful entrepreneur and the struggling dreamer. It rarely looks behind the curtain to understand the journey, sacrifices, or failures. The truth is, people tend to judge us by our current status, not our history. Why? Because society values results. Results signal competence, reliability, and value. When someone achieves success, it's proof they have overcome obstacles, learned, and grown, whether or not the world knows the details of their story. This reality can be tough to accept. It can feel like the past you've endured is ignored or forgotten. But there's also freedom in this truth. It means your future is not tied to your past. It means you have the power to rewrite your story starting from where you are today. Why your starting point doesn't define you. The starting point is just a moment in time, a launch pad, not a destiny. Many of the world's most successful people came from difficult beginnings. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty and faced abuse. Steve Jobs was adopted and dropped out of college. J.K. Rowling was a single mother living on welfare before Harry Potter's success. These stories remind us that beginnings are often messy and uncertain. But the key difference between those who succeed and those who don't is mindset. The growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck introduced the concept of a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can develop with effort and learning. People with a growth mindset see challenges and failures as opportunities to improve rather than as permanent labels of who they are. If you adopt this mindset, your past doesn't limit you. Instead, it becomes a foundation on which you build resilience, skills, and character. Jake's story, from struggles to success. Let's bring this philosophy to life with the story of Jake. Early life. Jake grew up in a small town where opportunities were scarce. His family struggled financially, and resources were limited. From an early age, Jake knew he was different, not because he had advantages, but because he had dreams that didn't seem to fit his environment. At school, Jake was often overlooked. He didn't have access to tutoring or technology like his peers. Many teachers doubted he would amount to much. Even his friends told him to lower his expectations and settle for a modest life. But Jake refused to accept this as his destiny. Starting small. With no money and little experience, Jake decided to start a small online business selling handmade crafts. His first website was simple and barely got any visitors. For months, sales were almost zero. Sometimes, Jake felt invisible. Despite the slow start, Jake kept learning. He taught himself digital marketing, studied customer behavior, and improved his products. He joined online forums, connected with mentors, and gradually expanded his reach. The turning point. Years passed, and Jake's persistence began to pay off. His small business grew steadily, attracting loyal customers and gaining positive reviews. Eventually, Jake launched a branded line of products that caught the attention of larger retailers. Now, Jake is a successful entrepreneur who inspires others. When people meet him, they see the confident business owner, not the struggling kid from a small town. When asked about his journey, Jake often says, "No one cared where I started. They only saw where I am now." That truth pushed me to keep working harder because I knew my present had to be better than my past. Jake's story is proof that your beginning is not your end. Your results today can rewrite the narrative. What this philosophy teaches about success. Jake's journey highlights a few important lessons. Results matter. People respect those who deliver results. It's not about ignoring the past but about proving your value through action. Responsibility and ownership. Taking responsibility for where you are today means empowering yourself to change it. Resilience and persistence. Success often comes after failure and repeated effort. Self-belief, believing in your potential even when others don't, is crucial. This philosophy encourages you to stop making excuses based on where you started. Instead, focus on where you are and where you want to go. Balancing realism and compassion. While society may only see your current status, it's important to be compassionate, both toward yourself and others. Everyone has a story of struggle that may not be visible. Recognizing this helps you stay humble and kind. It also reminds you that your difficult beginnings gave you unique strengths, empathy, grit, and perspective. How to apply this philosophy to your life. Here are some practical steps to live by this truth. Set clear goals, define where you want to be, not where you started. Take consistent action. Small daily efforts lead to big results. Learn from failure. See setbacks as lessons, not the end. Surround yourself with support. Build relationships with people who believe in your potential. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge and reward your growth along the way. Remember, your past is a chapter, not the whole book. Conclusion. At the end of the day, no one cares where you started, they only see where you are now. This may sound harsh, but it's a truth that can liberate you. It means your future is yours to create. Like Jake, you have the power to rise above your circumstances. Focus on your present actions, learn continuously, and keep moving forward. Your story isn't defined by your past but by your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself today. So, if you're feeling stuck or discouraged, remember, your start doesn't matter, your now does. Make it count.